What's up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. As you can see behind me, I got the truck and some weird big tires. We're still waiting on the wheels to come in the mail, but went ahead and found the old marketplace specials here, and on this side behind me in the garage I got lift kit parts. So today's focus, I want to get the truck moved over, and I'm gonna start painting up all the suspension. You know, we're poverty broke, so no powder coat for me. But I'm gonna be using a nice Rust-Oleum enamel paint, so it should smooth out and look pretty good. And if it doesn't, it'll look better than rust. That's all that matters. So as you can see in here, this is gonna be today's focus. Working on this dusty, crusty, rusty frame, and probably work on the axles and everything else. You can see I've got old paint that was never prepped. I literally just crawled under here one day and sprayed it. Didn't clean it, didn't do anything. Same with the diff cover. But I'm going to paint probably everything white, and then whatever gets replaced with the lift kit, eventually down the road, I'll probably powder coat orange. This nice color, orange. But yeah, so first thing I'm gonna do is get the truck started up and moved over into the driveway a little more, because I don't feel like working in the sand. And I'll get the back end jacked up, get the wheels off, and start wire wheeling and scraping and peeling and dusting and washing, whatever it's gonna take. And I've got plastic and stuff, so I'll tape off the bed sides and the cab and wrap the truck up nice so that I don't get any overspray on it. I think I'm going to just tape off the lens of my rock lights and paint everything else. Literally just everything. All the plastic. I guess I'll tape this stuff off and cover it. I'll do it the right way. I'm not just gonna spray paint literally everything and then, you know, like them SEMA boys do, and just coat rubber bushings and whatever just to get the truck done. I'll tape off what's not supposed to be painted and make it look nice. All right, guys, so as you can see, I got the truck jacked up. Got the jack stands on the old dirty hitch. Since this is going to be taped off and I'm not painting that, figured secure the truck there. I'll do whatever with the wiring that's all in the way. But I mean, look at this scale. And obviously the bed I don't care about. I'm going to paint it all underneath, just to keep it clean and uniform, but the bed will be getting replaced. But like on, let's see, where's a good example here? The top of the U-bolts, shackles, all this old peeling undercoat garbage, all this nasty scale and everything flaking apart. So that's all the stuff I'm talking about. I'm gonna scrape all this stuff out of here, get it all cleaned out, and then paint everything. The frame honestly doesn't even look that bad up close. It's got chunks of the bed obviously falling all over it, but that's no big deal. So we'll get it cleaned up. I'll pull the bump stops out if I can pry them out without ripping them. Otherwise I'll just tape them off and get all up in here and paint it all. So yep. this driver's side of the axle scraped. You can see all the scale, all the shit's pretty much scraped off clean. Inside of there, best I can get in there. I started wire wheeling, getting all the junk out of the wheel well, wire wheeling the top of the springs, starting to get that done. So you can see, got the old trusty wood chisel and the wire wheels. So I'm just gonna keep going on that and see how far I can get. I'll probably try and get from like the front leaf spring shackle just in front of it all the way back. I still got to scrape the inside rail of the frame and the bottom of the bed, but we're making progress, so that's all that matters. You can see a big old pile of rust, and I've already blown it off into the grass multiple times, but you know, like I said, it's gonna be as clean as it can get at this point, being that I don't have a sandblaster. So yeah, I'll get everything taped up and then shoot primer and then let it sit. Been at it pretty much all day. I've got just about everything masked up. I got a couple more little pieces to cover up and clean. You can see in there the pinion is disgusting, so I need to degrease that with something, wipe it down, and then the rest of the emergency brake line and the pigtail going to the sensor in the rear diff, and then just this little section of exhaust. Once I do that, it'll be time to start spraying up. This is what I'm using. This high performance rusty metal primer, and it's an oil based, so the oil based helps it kind of like flow into itself. It should give it a nice smooth look. That's just the primer. I'm using the same thing for paint, gloss white right here. So we're going to see how it turns out, that's for sure. This is something I've never done before, and yeah, so I'll catch back up when I start spraying. Day 2, and we're all prepped up. So hopefully all of it can come out looking like close to that, and I'd be happy. Hopefully better, but I got everything taped up, masked, prepped, scraped clean, wiped with acetone. So I'm gonna get the old Harbor Freight unit, load it up with some primer, and start spraying. Well, it's been a day. The kids are outside playing. But here's the back half. The back third. I painted all this first so that when the U-bolts and the the nuts and everything comes out, one, I can touch up the leaf springs when everything's apart, and two, all the new hardware, the new U-bolts, the new blocks, everything will look brand new, fresh, just how it's supposed to be. But see, I got the rock lights painted up, my rust holes, but it don't look the greatest, but it definitely doesn't look the worst either. So, I mean, obviously, this would have taken me weeks to get smooth, but I'm just looking for something a little bit cleaner. It's not gonna be a show truck, obviously, but I wanted it to be cleaned up. Diff cover looks good though. That was probably my biggest thing. So, that looks good, I'm happy with it. Main goal is to brighten up the bottom. So tomorrow I'll keep going on the lift. I'm cleaning up right now. I got the blocks and the U-bolts, new shocks, go all up in here. So I'll keep going with that tomorrow, and we'll get the back half of this thing up in the air, slap the old stalker wheels back on, and then move to the front. I got the blocks in. I got the extra like U-bolt things in here, those deals. All the hardware still needs to be tightened, so I'll just go through because it's late. I'll tighten everything tomorrow after work. I gotta tighten the brake calipers. I gotta put the new shocks in. Still got the old trusty Bilsteins in here. Reclip my brake line bracket cable. I might flip it over and do it this way so that it isn't super tight. Yeah, other side is the same deal. Everything's in, just not tight, obviously. It's like 9 o'clock, so I'm not going to be out here with the freaking impact, just ugga-dugging, waking up the neighbors. In the instructions, I know it says that this leaf, the overload, is supposed to be removed. And I said, wait a minute. Let me see if these dang old U-bolts is gonna reach. Because I actually use my truck to pull stuff. And yeah. So I left them in there. But tomorrow I'm gonna get everything tightened up, double check all the bolts on the whole rear, everything, put the wheels back on, and then it's gonna sit all cattywampus, and I'll turn it around and start tearing into the front, which should be fun. Well, as you can see, I got the front of the truck taken apart now. Slight issue though. That's gonna be a problem. So I already ordered a new passenger side bucket, which is this whole piece, coil spring and shock mount. I'm starting to cut out these rivets, get them hammered out and get this thing off so that when that new part comes in, I can paint it and slap it right in. The new ones, they bolt on in place of these rivets. There's 5 here and there's 2 underneath. I'll probably do the other side. Well, I'll probably just do this side because the truck's not going to stay this way forever. So I'll probably just bolt this side in or weld them or something. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, that, well, I shouldn't be able to see through that. And this whole piece was missing. Originally, I was just going to take a piece of 3-inch exhaust, which fits the bushing perfectly, and weld it in place here just to keep the rubber isolator centered and run with it. And then I started chipping away the rust so I could paint, and yeah, made holes. So it is what it is, but I'm gonna work on that. I got to What?
Keenan has a dinosaur.
Keenan has a dinosaur?
Yeah.
That's what you interrupted me for?
Yeah.
Oh. Alright. Kids. I still gotta get in here and degrease everything real good, power wash it down, and do all that. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, you know, I just gotta do the little front suspension stuff, get that coil bucket in and installed, painted, touch up the paint in the back now that everything's installed and tightened. And yeah, wheels should be here on Monday, so I'll have to get those installed. Can you paint this?
Yes.
What are you gonna paint it with?
Paint, and it came with paint. And Grayson already did one.
Okay. Don't make a mess.
Thank you.
Well, I got the coil bucket out, as you can see. Piece of junk. But I started to degrease and power wash a bunch of stuff yesterday. You can see there's plenty more to scrape, clean, and do whatever. I'm gonna have to do it probably a few times to get it as clean as I need it before I can paint. But having that coil bucket out of the way is nice because I can really get in here and smoothen out the frame, make it real pretty. Like up in here, you know, it's all covered anyway once the new bucket goes back in. But tried to power wash the trans up real good. The starter looks decent, but I'll get in there and wipe everything down. All of like this stuff, old undercoating, got to get in there and scrape it all off and then hit it with something, I don't know, maybe mineral spirits or lacquer thinner, I don't know, spray acetone, something in there to try and break it loose, and then degrease it and power wash it all off. Got that side. This side's got some more left on it. That side and the back side of the rear motor brace is really gunked up, so I don't even know that I'm going to be able to get in there. But I'm going to try. So yeah. We're going to do that today. Me and Grayson, as he's over here playing with a giant anthill.
I just looking at them.
They're going to bite you. They're fire ants.
Oh, no. They're not.
They are fire ants, and they will bite you.
They're not. They're just walking away from me.
If they're not fire ants, then touch them.
No.
Yeah, didn't think so. Come on. Come on, let's work on the truck. All right, so Tuesday the 21st. I got a week and a couple days before I'm supposed to leave, and not a whole lot of time between working on this and working at my actual job to really get things done. But today I came home, got the radius arms dropped. I deleted most of my rocker panels, the rest of what's left. Wire brushed a bunch of stuff. Took the calipers off, rotors, so those didn't get overspray on them, and just pretty much got everything prepped up today so that when I get home tomorrow after work, I can mask everything off real quick and then start spraying primer. I do still have to wire wheel the frame rails, and there's overspray on the fuel tank, which I really don't care. I'm at the point I might just paint the whole freaking thing and just not deal with it. But I'll have to mask up and around the transfer case, the trans, front drive shaft, rear drive shaft, the exhaust, all the way up. And then mask off all my rock lights. Rest of my brake hoses, random little things. Oil pan. This whole front section I'm gonna mask off, and then anything that I want painted up here, I'll probably just do it by brush. Just to make sure it's not a bunch of overspray on everything. But yeah, it's coming along. You can see the axle's pretty freaking clean, so that should come out pretty smooth. Diff cover, not so much. If I had more time, I would take the diff covers that I got from Thomas and have them powder coated white, but I don't have that much time. So yeah, we're really on a crunch here, and I know the video's jumping around over a lot of days, but that's just how things go in real life. So yeah, this is how she sits right now. The wheels have come in the garage, hence the pallet. Got to get those mounted up and see how quickly I can get everything done. Get the truck finished, get it aligned, and then have Kenzie register it this weekend, right? And have mommy put new plates on the truck?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Grayson?
No. No.
Grayson says good. Keenan says no. Aiden says
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
So,
Good?
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Grayson. Guys, what a freaking week it has been trying to crunch this thing back together. It looks so much brighter up in here though with everything painted white. Obviously I have some touch-ups to do here. Scrape the spring behind there. But I mean, just absolute hectic week. Between, you can see I got some fresh old Everstart Walmart specials in there because these took a dump while sitting. Truck's been sitting for, I'd say 3 months probably. I drove it a couple times in the past 3 months since I have a company vehicle. But between the batteries, the freaking coil bucket, my sway bar end links that wouldn't come off, so I had to cut them off right here. Just a week. That's all I gotta say about it. It was a week. But Kenzie's gonna take this thing in for an alignment tomorrow, if they have availability. And then once it gets back from the alignment shop, then I can do all the paint touch-ups and put the wheels on it, which are over there. But you can't see them yet because they're extra thick. But yeah, I'm gonna go inside now, and when Kenzie gets home from the gym, I'll take this thing on the first drive, make sure everything's all tightened up how it's supposed to be. No clunkety clunks going on. But I mean, overall, seeing it lit up now with the lights on it at night, I'm happy with how it came out. There's more I could do, but you know what? This was done in 2 weeks. I painted the entire frame, the axles, the radius arms, the steering bars, the leaf springs, the whole bottom side of this truck just got sprayed. Not to mention rebuilding pieces that weren't supposed to be broken and other pieces that weren't supposed to be broken, and just all kinds of stuff. But it's done, and I'm happy with it for now. So that's all there is to it. Next clip you guys will see is probably after I get the wheels on it, and at that point I'll probably be headed down to Miami.